Okay, we are back with the old format. The new format is a bit controversial. A lot of viewers were giving us the feedback that they prefer the old format. So yes, we're back with the old format. And speaking of controversial, today we have the Mercedes-Benz C-Class.
Yes, this C-Class is controversial because it is not a C180, not a C200. This is a C160, which makes it a Category A COE car.
And it's very hard to find another rear-wheel driven Cat A car in the market today.
You're right. I think, come to think of it, I think with the big three brands like BMW, Mercedes and Audi, I don't think only Mercedes has a sedan which is a Cat A car, I think,
yeah,
right now.
Of its class, yeah.
Of its class.
Yeah.
So I mean, the quintessential sedan, I think we should talk about the boot now.
Yes, to the boot.
The Mercedes-Benz C160 is priced at just under $180,000. This car comes with a 1.5-litre turbocharged engine. It produces 127 brake horsepower and 210 Nm of torque. The 9G-tronic automatic transmission brings the car from 0 to 100 km/h in 10.3 seconds. For more details on the Mercedes-Benz C160 or any other car, head on to sgCarMart.com to help you make the smart choice on your next car.
Luxury brand comes with luxury functions, including a kick sensor. Ta-da! Not bad. 2 tries. What you have here is 435 litres of boot space. Does it pass the anti-trolley length test? It does. Good stuff. So it shouldn't have a problem fitting in our luggage. Perfect. And you can kick it to close the boot. But there is quite a load lip here and there's no way to lift up the boot floor. But what you have underneath is one of the favorite things I like about Mercedes-Benz. They give this nice foldable crate. And this will come in useful because when you try to knock down the rear seats from here, it is very deep and you will pull a muscle trying to push the seats down. So you can use this crate, push down. Lovely. And it's quite smooth so you can push things in. Yeah, all in all quite practical. There's no 12-volt socket here, just some nets and some tether points. And that's it. Lovely. To the back seat. Ta-da! Onto the back seat. This is my driving position, and as you can see, there's quite a lot of leg room here, a lot of foot space as well. Headroom is okay. If you're taller than 1.8 meters, then you might have a problem. Equipment-wise, there are 2 aircon vents, but there's no climate control, just a knob here to switch on and off the airflow. You would think that there are no charging ports, but it's hidden here. 2 USB charging ports and a 12-volt socket. And there's ISOFIX points as standard, and at the center armrest, there's some storage here. And the cup holders are quite cool and adaptable. You can fit the small and thin Red Bull cans and the bigger Jia Jia Liang Teh. Cool. Let's see how 3 fit in the back. Okay, as you can tell, we are fighting for shoulder space because it's not a very wide car. Leg space is surprisingly okay, but because this is a rear-wheel driven car, the transmission tunnel is very high. So the person in the middle can't really do this. I don't think even Julian can do this. But that being said, the middle seat is actually quite comfortable. And Idris was also saying the seat is actually comfortable. So 2 adults at the back, perfect, not 3.
Since this is a Mercedes, well, it has to be comfortable and luxurious, right? Well, this doesn't fall short, that's for sure. I really like the easy entry features of the C-Class where the steering wheel comes to you and the seats go forward. Elsewhere in the interior, of course, it doesn't come with the freestanding displays that you see in a lot of other new Mercedes-Benzes, but they're still digital. And I really like the fact that this is recessed into the dashboard because it doesn't catch reflections and all that kind of stuff like the new Mercedes-Benzes. And, well, elsewhere in the interior, it does look good. I mean, look at this centerpiece over here with this open pore wood. It actually feels good to the touch. And there's quite a bit of practicality too. I mean, you have wireless charging and you have a very big cubby area over here. I think you could probably put I think a full camera if you wanted to inside here. And well, if there was one thing which I didn't really like about the C160 is these black speaker covers over here. I mean, it's almost here to remind you that, well, you didn't get the Burmaster system. Well, aside from that, it's all comfortable and nice. Well, let's find out if it's comfortable and nice on the road.
So the C160, I think a lot of people will be comparing this to the C180, especially in terms of the engine performance.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
You talk about performance, well, this car makes less power, of course.
Yep.
It makes, I think, 26 brake horsepower, 27 brake horsepower, and 40 Newton meters of torque, lesser than the C180.
Okay.
And well, if you can't really feel that kind of difference, can you? I mean, it's only 40 Newton meters of torque. And after all, this car still has 210 Newton meters of torque, so it isn't really that slow in terms of perkiness. It's actually, there is a bit of punch when you...
Yes,
you
off the line there is a bit of punch.
Yes, there's a bit of punch. But, you know, when you're driving along quietly right now, like we're doing right now, you keep the RPMs low, the car is nice and quiet, the engine is nice and quiet, but if you actually punch it a little bit,
Okay.
it gets a little bit, you know, it sounds like it's protesting a little bit, which I don't really like.
There's that strain there.
Yeah, there's a bit of strain, but to be honest, this is not a performance car,
Yep.
so you won't be building up the revs every single time you're driving this, so it probably won't ever bother you at all. And it's more than happy to be cruising at 90 and with the RPMs below 2000. It's really nice and comfortable. And speaking of comfortable, this is quite comfortable, don't you
Yes,
think?
I have to agree. The seats are... I would say this car, you buy it to get you from point A to B in comfort. It's not something you get in and you just want to floor the throttle. It's supposed to be a comfort daily driver. The seats are very well cushioned. I feel very cocoon, very comfortable. And I think that's what you get when you get a luxury German sedan. And,
Yes.
and this delivers. I like the aircon. It's nice and strong when you need it to be. Yeah, I can't complain about the cabin. It's nice and premium feeling.
Nice. Like I was saying, like I like this paw, the open paw wood thing over here.
Yeah.
It feels very nice to the touch and it looks good also.
Yeah, visually it's great. To the touch is great. The seats are great.
Yes.
Just not the engine is what it is. It's 1.5 liters. You can't expect it to perform like a 2-liter turbocharged engine. How about handling? I have to say, when I was driving it, it felt a lot heavier than even like the XC60 and the Golf. Those had very nice and light responsive handling.
Yeah, this steering wheel is a bit more weighted than usual, especially like if you talk compared to cars like the Volkswagen Golf. But this cannot really be compared to the Golf.
You can't. But for example, the XC60, a huge SUV, has way lighter steering.
Yeah, it's true. But this, I kind of like the fact that it's nice and heavy and weighted.
Okay.
Even though this is in the comfort setting for the steering, it is quite weighted. And I cannot imagine how heavy it is in sport.
Okay.
But anyway, this sort of gives you that confidence when you're driving on the highway, you know, and just cruising along. And a nice weighted steering wheel kind of gives that kind of experience.
Okay.
To me. And if you talk about ride quality, I think this rides really well. And I don't remember the C200 actually riding as well as this, which I think is because this comes with the 17-inch wheels and higher profile tires.
Okay,
I think that thicker sidewalls, 50 profile, I think. So that helps to absorb bumps really well. And
Yes.
let's be honest, I buy this car not to be sporty, you know, and
Yeah,
going through corners and all that. This is about sitting on the expressway in absolute silence and comfort, and this does it, to be honest, exceptionally well, I think. Yeah.
Agree. So as always, we have will buy, won't buy, or go try the Mercedes C160. Do you have an answer?
Yes, I do have an answer.
Yes.
You?
Yes, I have a controversial one.
Really? Are you gonna surprise me with your answer?
I hope so.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it.
So in 3, 2, 1,
Go
will
try.
buy.
Will buy for you. Will buy, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, let me tell you why it's a go try for me.
Okay.
So the C160 is only about $5,000 cheaper than the C180.
Yes.
And of course, this is as of now, as of COE prices, which are really very close also.
Yes.
So, I don't know. I mean, the car is pretty much the same inside and out, except for the engine.
Yes.
And also, I say go try because there's the 3 Series also, and the little dated A4 currently on sale. And well, the A4 is a very comfortable car, and it's pretty powerful also.
Yes.
So, I don't know, it's still a go try because of the fact that this is really very comfortable. It does the job of A to B really very well. So, yeah, it's a go try, and it's a will buy for you. Well done. Well done.
I am going to get whacked in the comments.
Sure, kana.
Yeah. But like what you said, COE prices are so close. But there was a time that Cat B was way more expensive than Cat A. And I think what Mercedes in Singapore is trying to anticipate is that trend coming back. And when that happens, I think this one will suddenly look a lot more attractive. When if it's not only $5,000 cheaper, it might be $10,000 to $20,000 cheaper than the C180, and then you start to think, for another $10,000 I get what, 27 brake horsepower more? Do I really want that? And I would say if that day happens, the C160 is a very, very attractive car, a very, very attractive Cat A luxury car at this price point.
Yes.
And I agree with you that the equipment is great, it's very premium, very luxurious, and the ride comfort is awesome. And if you think about it, right, I mean, in some way, if you're really penny pinching and you want to have a Mercedes, but you don't need that much power, actually $5,000 is still savings. It's still $5,000 savings.
Yes.
And automatically is a go try for everyone, I feel. But if we think about where COE might be going, this might be a will buy for a lot of people who are thinking of getting into the luxury German range. But in future, if COE prices just go all the way up, this one might be more attractive.
Yeah, might be a good deal. Yeah, I can foresee that happening.
Yeah, but I know you guys might start whacking me. Yeah, whack away.
Yes. Speaking of the whacking, let's see if there has been any other whackings in the previous comments.
Yeah, let's read one comment, but I feel that we shouldn't take too many whacking comments. If not, our morale very low, huh?
Yeah. I affected now, guys.
Idris affected. James is coming back. I think by the time you watch this, right, we already filmed a few videos with James already.
Yes.
So chill, guys.
Yeah, relax.
Okay, so from Lemuel Wong, hope you all can also review cars that are reaching their last stage, like, is it still worth getting? Example, the Artrage, Jazz, Space Star, etc.
We did something like that with the Golf, didn't we?
Yeah.
The Mark 7.5 Golf.
Yeah, and
that's a good idea.
I like that idea. Personally, my car that I bought was on its tail end, and when it's on its tail end, dealers tend to make it very attractive in terms of price and equipment.
That's right.
But of course, there are some trade-offs. You don't get the latest tech, like adaptive cruise control, lane departure warning, etc. But good idea, Lemuel. We'll try to feature more cars like that in future. So, don't forget to like and comment on whether you will buy, won't buy, or go try the C160.
That is right. So yes, hit that notification bell, of course.
Yes.
So you'll know when our next video comes up.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Don't forget to subscribe. And we will see you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.